Hello mga students, welcome back sa aking channel. For this video lecture, pag-uusapan po natin ang iba't ibang klase ng documentation techniques. So yes po, documentation techniques. Actually po, ang ipapakita ko sa inyo dito ay ano-ano ba yung mga klase ng diagrams at mga flowcharts. Okay? Because you know, class, when you are documenting a process, you are documenting, let's say, an organization's process from beginning to end, you are required to be familiar, at least familiar with these types of techniques kasi gagamitin po ninyo ito sa pagdo-document ninyo. So at least by now, it's better that you are familiar with this kasi believe me, once you go to work, you will be using this one at some point in time. Let's talk about data flow diagrams or the DFD. Kagaya po ng visuals na makikita po ninyo dito, ito sa bandang kanan, the figure 2-13 shows us the DFD or data flow diagram of a sales order process. Okay? Dito po sa bandang gitna, although hindi siya necessarily nasa gitna, makikita po ninyo yung guide. Ano ba yung mga ginagamit natin ng mga symbols? Because when we are preparing a data flow diagram, we are using symbols to represent something. And that something may be an entity, a process, a data flow, or a data storage. Okay, that pertains to a system. Now, DFTs are used to represent systems at different levels of details from very general to highly detailed. Okay. O, ano ang mga kinakailangan po ninyong tandaan? Meron po tayong 4 na klase ng symbols dito. Yung una, etong square na merong shadow, this is your for input source or output destination of data. Pwedeng input, pwedeng output. Okay? And normally, makikita po ninyo, halimbawa, example dito, entity name, pangalan ng entity. And usually po, these are in nouns. Naka-noun siya. Kagaya ng makikita po ninyo dito sa kanan. This is an example of an input source coming from a customer. Tapos dito naman, carrier. Okay, the destination, output destination. Next, this one. Etong ating parang rectangular na hindi nga lang pointed sa mga dulo. Now, this is a process that is triggered or supported by data. So dito, makikita po ninyo dapat nakalagay dyan yung process description. So halimbawa po makikita ninyo dito sa ating data flow diagram ng sales order processing, approve sales, ship goods. So parang action word siya, no? You are commanding something, you are acting on something. Okay? You have to approve the sales, you have to ship the goods, you have to bill the customers, you have to prepare the accounts receivable. So they are actions, no? And it is a process, of course. Next, eto pangatlo. Etong ating parang rectangular na putol. Okay? Hindi ko kasi alam yung mga pangalan nila, no? Hindi ko na-research kung may mga proper names ba tayo dito sa mga ganitong klase ng mga shapes. Pag ganito naman po, ang makikita ninyo, this is a store of data. Okay? Data storage, no? Or a store of data such as, remember yung ating mga accounting records in a computer-based system. It can be a transaction file, a master file, or a reference file. Anong example natin dito sa illustration? Your credit records file, the shipping logs, okay? What else? Yung sales order mo dito, and then the customer accounts receivable records. So they are a store of data. Okay, it doesn't matter if it is a transaction file, master file, or reference file. Ito po ang ginagamit natin na symbol. And of course, the last is the arrow, and this directs the data flow. So kagaya dito, no? From the credit records, i-check po yan for approval of sales. Ang tinutukoy po kasi nito is that before you approve the sales, you have to check the creditworthiness of the customer, of your client. If that is a repeat customer, mabilis lang yan, no? Pero we have to check the credit records. Baka mamaya, lagpas na sa kanyang credit limit. Usually for mga beginners, no, unang client natin, unang customer, medyo matagal-tagal yung pag-check ng credit records. Okay? But you see, the flow of data from the records papunta sa approval ng sales. Okay? Oh, that is a data flow diagram. Oh, next naman po tayo, the ERD or the Entity Relationship Diagram. Ito naman pong technique na ito ay ginagamit to represent the relationship between entities. Kasi po, makikita po ninyo dito, etong mga square na may shadow, these are all entities. And entities may either be a physical resource, an event, okay, or an agent. Remember the RHEA model, kung naalala po ninyo, resources, events, and agents, di ba? Ano example ng mga resources? Kagaya dito, naka-open and close parenthesis, automobile, cash, inventory, mga assets natin, ano naman yung mga events? Mga actions po ito, ordering inventory, receiving cash, shipping goods. Yung mga agents naman, ito yung mga salesperson, customer, or vendor, about which the organization wishes to capture data. Okay, one common use for ER diagrams is to model an organization's database. Because remember, one of the information system model is your RHEA model, di ba? So, makikita po ninyo dito, sa ating figure 2-14, the relationship between entities. Now, to illustrate this further, para mas maintindihan ninyo, ano tong 1, ano tong M. Okay? At bakit may arrow sa kanila. Ito po ang blueprint ng isang, ito example ng data model or a blueprint of the physical database. Etong arrow na ito shows the relationship between entities. Kasi remember, etong mga square natin dito, these are all entities. Regardless of whether or not they are, or whether they are resources, they are events, or they are agents, they are considered as entity because this is an entity relationship diagram. Entity relationship, no? So, kung si sales order at saka si shipping log ay connected, they are related to each other. Kung walang connect, hindi sila related. Halimbawa, dito sa sales order at saka si credit record, walang connect, Ang merong connect, si shipping log at saka si customer AR record, at saka si customer AR record, at saka si credit record naman. Now, ang makikita po ninyo dito na mga numbers sa sides, sa mga gilid-gilid, number or letter M, ito yung tinatawag natin na cardinality or a degree of relationship. Tatlong klase po yan. It can be 1:1, 1:many, or many is to many. Pag 1:1, may 1 dito sa kaliwa, may 1 sa kanan. Pag 1:many, may 1 dito sa kaliwa, may M sa kanan. Pag many to many, M parehas. Paano yung M to 1? It's as if this is 1:many. Okay? Paano natin ito intindihin? Because when we are talking of cardinality, another way for you to understand it is that is a numerical mapping, between entities. For every one salesperson, there is one company car. 1:1 yung relationship. For every one customer, there can be multiple sales order. That is 1:many relationship. There could be multiple vendors and multiple inventories. Okay? Pero meron pa tayo ditong words. Salesperson is assigned, one salesperson is assigned one company car. One customer places one sales order or many sales order. Kasi it can be 1:many. Multiple vendors may supply multiple inventories because we can order from different vendors as long as it is accredited or accepted by the company. So, yan po yung ating relationship. And those are the symbols. Okay? So, please take note of that when we are using the entity relationship diagram. Now, let's proceed naman sa flowcharts. Pag flowchart naman, of course, this is also a graphical representation of a system. And it describes the physical relationship between its key entities. O ito, binasa ko lang po itong unang paragraph. Itong unang short paragraph. Now, meron po tayong dalawang klase. We have the document system and we have the system flowchart. Document flowchart and system flowchart. Pag sinabi po natin na document flowchart, ang dinidepict po nito, kagaya ng aking in-underline dito, is the elements of a manual system. Pag system flowcharts, it portrays naman the computer aspects of a system. Pag document, manual system. Pag system flowchart, computer aspects naman. Kaya nga, pag makikita po ninyo dito, ito yung mga symbols na ginagamit natin for a document flowchart. Etong oblong na ito, it is a terminal showing source or destination of documents and records. O terminal yan, showing what? Source or destination. Parang yung sa ating tawag nito sa data flow diagram. This one, it can be a source or a destination. Ito sa ating flowchart, this one, itong oblong na ito can also be a source or a destination. Etong symbol na ito represents a source document or a report. Okay? Ito naman, manual operation. Ito naman pong inverted triangle, file for storing source. Source document and reports. No? This is a file for storage, inverted triangle. Ito naman, ano nga ulit ito? Rhombus ba ito? Please let me know kung tama. This represents accounting records. It may be a journal, a register, a log, or a ledger. Because when we are talking of document flowchart, kasama po yung mga accounting records dyan. Yung mga organizational departments involved in the process and the activities which are either both clerical or physical. Okay, na piniperform doon sa mga departments. Ito naman, itong symbol na ito is a calculated batch total. Etong circle, this is an on-page connector. Kasi minsan when we are preparing flowcharts, masyado yung madami. Kung hindi natin siya makonect within that same space, we can use an on-page connector. Ibig sabihin ng on-page, may karugtong pa po yan somewhere within the same page. Pag outside that page, we will be using the off-page connector. This one. Okay? Ito naman, this is a description of process or comments, no? At of course, we still have the document flow line. Ayan. So yan po ang makikita natin pag document flow chart. Pag system flow charts, ito naman yung mga additional na makikita po ninyo because we are depicting in the computer aspect. No, it depicts the relationship between the input, yung source, the process, and then the output, no? The transaction files, the computer programs, yung mga master files, any computer-based records, di ba? And the output, no? System flowcharts also describe the type of media being used in the system such as magnetic tapes, magnetic disk, and terminals. And even if it is there or if there are real-time connection. So, halimbawa, ito, document, ito, di ba, or report sa ating document flowchart, the same lang po, but it represents a hard copy document or output. Etong rectangle, it presents a computer process that is a process or a program run. Etong ating cylinder ba ito, it is a direct access storage device or a disk pack. Ito naman, na parang circle na merong konting dito, that is a magnetic tape or a sequential storage device. Ito naman po, it is a terminal input or output device. Terminal input or output. Of course, we still have this flow line. This is a process flow. Etong ating parang thunder. This is a real-time connection or online connection. At itong ating lapis na symbol. Sir, bakit lapis yan? Dulo ng lapis. Okay, this is a video display device. Okay? So as you can see, itong mga symbols na ginagamit natin for system flowcharts, more of computer aspect talaga, di ba? But we can combine the document flowchart and system flowchart. Kagaya po ng makikita niyo dito. So halimbawa, dito sa bandang kanan, because this translates lahat ng mga facts into visual symbols. So makikita po ninyo dito yung ginamit natin sa document flowchart plus yung mga symbols na ginagamit natin sa ating system flowchart. O, as a guide, para malaman ninyo paano gumawa ng flowchart, kagaya ng makikita po ninyo dito sa ating illustrations, number 1, you have to lay out the physical areas of activities. Okay? And then, we transcribe the written facts into visual formats. Kasi ang ginagawa natin sa flowchart, instead na narrative yan, pag narrative, di ba, masyadong mahaba. We will use symbols para mas mapaiksi at mas makita natin yung flow of transactions. Okay? Flow of process from beginning to end. Instead na i-narrate natin ito na from the customer, we will be receiving a customer order, and after we receive the customer order, we prepare a sales invoice or a sales order in how many copies. Okay? Ayan. Huwag na nating i-narrative. Gawa na lang natin ito ng flowchart para makikita ninyo. Tapos makikita ninyo dito sa taas, ang mga transactions na ito happens on the sales department. And from the sales department, it will go to the credit department, 1 copy of the sales order for credit checking to check the credit worthiness. Okay? As compared from our current or recent na credit records. Okay? And then, once it is approved, we will be signing the sales order. So, yan po yung kinikwento ng ating flowchart. We lay out the physical areas and then we transcribe. And when we are talking of transcription, we convert the written. Pero ito, from written facts into visual formats. Okay? So, ganun po paggawa ng flowchart. Okay? Believe me, magagamit po ninyo yan later on. Okay? So, meron pa tayong tinatawag na program flowchart. We have a document flowchart. We have the system flowchart. Meron din tayong program flowchart. Ang program flowchart naman, pinapakita nito yung program logic, yung operational details. Paano ba ito ginagawa? Ano ba yung instruction sa machines? Okay? Na hindi makikita sa system flowchart. Because sa system flowchart, makikita lamang natin dito yung mga computer aspects. Yung mga magnetic disks, yung ating mga program runs, Pero dito, yung pinaka-instructions. Okay? If and then. Okay? Naalala ninyo yung mga conditional na mga formattings. Okay? So, dito makikita ninyo. When we are using a program flowchart, ito yung mga symbols na ginagamit natin. Etong rectangle represents a logical process. Etong oblong, the terminal start or end operation, the same lang po Meron tayo ditong diamond. And the diamond is a decision. Okay? And of course, when there is a decision, there are at least two. Yes or no, true or false, Tapos etong ating rhombus, kung tama nga ako, it is an input or output operation. Read and write records. And of course, we still have this one. So, halimbawa, makikita ninyo dito, from the start, read record. This is the instruction, This is the operation. This is a decision. EOF, hindi ko lang alam kung anong ibig nila sabihin dito. Yes, pag yes, stop. Pero pag no, yan? Error ba yan? If that is an error, mark record bad. If that is no, proceed dito. Okay? Error, yes or no. Ayan, hanggang sa bandang dulo. Bad record, yes or no? Pag yes, write to error file. Pag no, write to edited file. Okay, and go back again to reading the record. And that represents this one. This represents this type of a system flow chart. From the sales order, we have to edit, If there are errors, punta sa error files. Then, yung edited transactions, update natin, punta sa master files. Then, report program. Then, we will have the documents and then the reports. Okay? Dito, hindi mo makikita yung logic ng instructions. Pero makikita natin yan sa program flowchart. Okay? So, yun po yung additional at additional na type of flowchart natin. Next, we also have what we call the record layout diagrams. And these record layout diagrams are used, no, to reveal the internal structure of the records naman. Okay, internal record of the structures that constitute a file or database table. Kagaya ng makikita po ninyo dito sa ating figure 2-27. This is a record layout diagram for a customer file. Makikita po ninyo dito, meron tayong customer number, customer name, street address, city, state, zip code, credit limit. Kasi of course, when we are retaining files, when we are retaining records, we need this. Kasi later on, no, for let's say for preparing letters to our clients, following up on their dues, no? So, ito po yung ating mga nilalagay. The layout diagram usually shows the name, data type, length of each attribute. Pag sinabi nating length of each attribute, let's say for zip code. Ano ba yung usual na zip code natin? Halimbawa sa Pilipinas, 4 lang yan. 3017, 4020, no? So 4 lang. So the number or the length of each attribute is 4. Okay? Detailed data structure information is needed for such tasks as identifying certain types of system failures, analyzing error reports, and designing tests of computer logic for debugging and auditing purposes. Okay? So, yun po muna, hanggang dito muna tayo. Please take note, this is a record layout diagram. Okay, so that ends our session for this video lecture. Please let me know if you have anything for clarification. Okay, comment down below lang or please let me know and I'll be happy to assist you. Until the next video lecture, yes, nakita na po ninyo, pero balikan na lang natin ito sa susunod na lecture. Okay, I'll see you around. Bye-bye.